everybody's here is a leader. The reason you have chosen to be here is because you're passionate about leadership and transformation. Am I right?
Yes.
Am I right?
Yes.
There are definitely people who want to see change. You want to change something. I'm sure you're tired of status quo. Is that true? Or even if status quo is happening, I'm sure you'd like it to be better, right? As Mary has graciously introduced me, my name is June Yakan Manyeki. I love the name Yakan because I never used it half my life. I chose to use it for the rest of my life. I don't want to say half, but that means I'm giving myself another only solid allowance to be. But it is a pleasure for me to be here before you today. This is a wonderful, great day for me because it gives me the opportunity to speak to you about a dream that I have. When I started Timeless and Magnificent, a platform to champion transformation for Africa, this was born out of a frustration, a question that I kept asking myself. As I'm succeeding in the corporate world, I'm succeeding in the development world, doing great things, and climbing what we call the corporate ladder, doing transformation and impact for the organizations I was working for. There's one thing that kept pointing back at me was, why is Africa not optimizing itself? Why are the people of Africa not doing great things? Why are they not optimizing their potential? Why are we blessed with such a great continent, but we're playing way behind our league? What is so special, really, about the others? They must have understood something that we didn't understand for sure. But when you look at hundreds of years ago, you find that a lot of great things were done in Africa. The pyramids were built in Africa. Do you know pyramids are a wonder of the world that we haven't understood today? And these were done by Africans hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years ago. So what happened to Africa? And we can say there's a lot of things that have happened in Africa, but at the foundation of these things is the way we think. The opportunities exist. We're blessed with absolutely great resources. We have natural resources, precious stone, talented people, wild, great weather. We have sun. We have arable land. What is happening? Why are we not optimizing ourselves? So this frustration is a question I kept asking myself as I traveled through the world, through African countries in my work. When I traveled to the West, to Europe, to the Americas, I saw a difference. The West was doing a lot with little resources. Why can't Africa do much with much resources? Okay? And I started to feel frustrated that even as I was succeeding in my organization, bringing in a lot of impact and transforming operations, and always bringing new thinking to the table, and a characteristic that stood out in me, that one of the reasons that caused me to be successful was always bringing that transformative thinking to the table, asking, why can't we do this? How about we do this? Why do we have to do this? And that always gave birth to new thinking. So I then came to a realization that I needed to understand what on earth was I created here for? What was I created here for? What were you created for? Are you doing what you love? Are you passionate about doing what you do? Because if you're not, you cannot absolutely optimize whatever it is you're going to do. So while I was doing great things in the workplace, and great things in development and in corporate, and getting the titles and the paths that came with it, there was an inner lack of satisfaction within me that needed to be filled. And I went to do the reflection and the process to find out why I was created. And why was I created? My life is about transformation. My life is to champion the things that are going to influence transformation. Africa is the playing ground for me. It is the playing ground for me because I believe that Africa is a new frontier. It is the next frontier. Okay? We have to then bring things together, bring all the stakeholders, okay, to see how we can realize this big dream for Africa. One of the things I realized in my reflection was that if you look at the attitudes that plague Africa, we're mostly driven by a negative mindset and complaining all the time. Why do we complain so much? There is so much great happening for us. Okay? If you look at how we do our things, we compete, competition is great, but it reaches a point when the competition is not healthy. Okay? If we could collaborate more, bring in strategic partnerships, work together, create synergies, just how much greatness would that be? Okay? Let us look at some of the great things that have happened in the past to champion women's initiatives, women things, women movements, the move for gender equality and women's empowerment, great things people are doing and have done in the past. But what are some of the issues that have sort of held us back? Some of the strategies, I think, are the way we are perceived, perhaps, as women. Okay? If you look at the statistics of the world, you'll find that a lot of the world's wealth is in the hands of men. So we cannot ignore that demographic called men. A lot of the leadership positions held in the world are held by men. We can't ignore the men. So how about we collaborate with the men strategically? So that whatever it is we come together to discuss, as women, we have a supportive partner in the men. So when again I looked at the work that we're doing to influence transformation socially and economically, we work with the governments, we work with corporates, we work with development, with different strategies to foster that transformation thinking that's going to lead Africa up. With development, we believe that their policies can be looking at sustainable policies with strategic linkages for sustainability. Okay? We're looking at government, trying to inspire government to do the policies that are not just for today and for our pockets and stomachs, but for the future generations. We're looking at timeless. Our company is deliberately called timeless because it holds us to account on doing things that will transcend way beyond our lives. When we're long dead, will the things we have done be enjoyed by those who will be born after us? Okay? So we're looking at all these strategic partnerships, looking at corporates. As you're making your profits, the corporates, as you're doing products and services and making money, are you having any impact? Are your products and services meeting any solutions? I mean, any problems that we have within Africa? Can we have impact-driven profit? Is that a possibility for greatness? Yeah? And one of the demographics that I felt were completely sort of untapped. They had a lot of potential, if included in this equation, is women. If you look at the statistics of the population of Africa, more than 50% are women. If you look at the role that women are playing in the decisions of the things that are affecting us, you find it is still very minimal. Very minimal. A lot has been done, but it is minimal. Again, if you look at what is being done in various sectors, okay? In government, in corporates, in the development, great stuff. But is it happening in a collaborative manner? Are we talking the same language? Do we have a common vision? This is what led to the birth of the Timeless Women's Conference, which I do not call a conference, but a platform for dialogue. Today and through the next 2 days, we'll have very few speeches and we'll have more dialogue, more conversations. The women sitting on the floor are women leaders. You are women leaders, successful in your own right. The panelists are leaders in their own right. And this is a conversation where we're going to have a dialogue and discuss the key things that we want and we feel would be important that would help the women to work together for a greater Africa. My vision is women who are inspired, working together for a prosperous Africa. I see women thriving socially and economically. I see a powerful force of women that will be able to influence everything that concerns us, the social, the political, economic. Because for in a woman, you have two results. You have social transformation and you have economic transformation. Women are mostly in charge of nurturing and imparting values within the communities, within their families. So an empowered woman is a woman who's going to change the next generation. When you put money in the hands of a woman, I know that we can put money in the hands of a man and they do great things, but for women, you can guarantee children will eat, they will have clothes, there'll be a roof, and there'll be some little savings. So let us try and bring women into this equation now. If we're already doing the great things we're doing in this continent, how much more can we do when the women are involved? This mostly untapped potential of women who are great and very gifted. If we brought in this potential into this equation, can you see the greatness that Africa would be? I'm kind of wanting an answer. You can see it, because there's a way that when you bring a demographic that has not been engaged before into this equation to fully engage, you can only have more. You can only have more. Ladies and gentlemen, the Timeless Women's Conference is here today as a platform for dialogue to bring women from every sector. Because for the first time, what we want to do is to harness the strengths from every sector and every woman representing these sectors, so that we have a common vision that can drive the things that we want to do to change Africa. Again, why I say this is not just a conference for me, it's a platform, is I think for far too long in conferences we have just talked and talked and talked. And talking is great, we learn, we share, but I think it's about time that we did. So once we have talked over the next 2 days and dialogued and openly shared our ideas and critically thought about what Africa needs to grow, we will then paint this picture back to ourselves tomorrow at 5 p.m., at 4 o'clock, between 4 and 5 p.m., so that we see what is coming out from our discussions and what it is we need to do. And tomorrow we will have a phenomenal evening in the gala dinner, where we will be launching what I'm calling the Timeless Women of Wonder. Because I believe all the women in this room are what I consider women of wonder. The reason you are sitting here is you care for change. You care to develop this continent. And you're already doing wonders wherever it is you're sitting. But tomorrow night we're going to bring in, among some of you already, some 7 great women who are doing wonders in their lives, in their journey to transform Africa. And we will launch a timeless platform that will be the platform that will be responsible for implementing the things that we discuss here, so that we're no longer just talking, but we're doing as well. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope that you're wearing your thinking hats, your friendship hats, your networking hats. What other hats are there? There are a few other hats. Your spiritual hat, which other hat? That's your actual. Your collaborative hat. And what other hat? Your action-oriented hat. Let's put on all our hats, which again I'm calling heels. I should have picked up my own theme, the healed heels. Okay? The healed heels theme is about healing the mind. We need a transformed mindset if we're going to become great. At the foundation of everything we're doing, we have to have a healed mind. We have to be open. Let us break the barriers that have held us back. Let us come into every conversation over the next 2 days with an open mind, with new ideas, without any limitation of what will hold us back, so that indeed we can live here having healed our minds and getting to the next level to do other things. So welcome again. I'm really glad to welcome you here to the Timeless Women's Conference, and I look forward to interacting with all of you throughout the 2 days. Okay? Thank you very much.